Just to get a nice idea.
Hi, I'm David Trotman. I'm director for the Penarth Pier Pavilion project and started work on this particular project in March of this year. My previous experience within the voluntary sector has been working with the RSPB, Barnardo's Stroke Association, Parkinson's Disease Society, Action on Addiction and Barnardo's. And prior to that, I was a medical researcher at Llandough Hospital studying chest diseases.
Lovely. And could you just explain the relationship between Penarth Arts and Crafts, our charity, and Penarth Pier Pavilion?
Penarth Arts and Crafts was formed some 13 years ago, and it was a previous director called Maggie Knight that really saw the, the opportunities to take on a building such as the pavilion being used as a centre by which communities and audiences could benefit or experience the many guises of art. And that work started with the trustees probably 5, 6, possibly 7 years ago, and here we are now, and Maggie having returned to Australia, here we are now with almost at the point of a £4.2 million refurbishment being completed and almost at the point to walk into the building. And therein that starts the many different uses and applications this building will give to highlight the objectives and work on the objectives of Penarth Arts and Crafts.
Can you give me some examples of how the building will be used to fulfil PACL's charity objectives?
It comes into, I suppose, three main areas. One, as a community resource for Penarth, and this is a sustainable resource by which the people of Penarth, all backgrounds, all ages, can come and experience art, as I say, in its many guises. And that could be from listening and seeing paintings, listening to music, or coming to see a fantastic community cinema. And that, I think, brings something very special to this building, that it's being called a multifunctional space, and it has many, many facets and assets to it, from learning room to a shop, of course, to our cinema, to an events and music exhibition area, to cafe, restaurant, and a beautiful observation room which will be used for meetings.
And who are the main groups that you will initially be working with?
Well, besides Penarth community and the people of Cardiff and the Vale of Glamorgan, we want to work with, should we say, carry on the work that Penarth Arts and Crafts has already been doing with young people with special needs and disabilities. So that is bringing art again in its main, whether it be painting, maybe drama, maybe music, but bringing young people from many colleges and schools and many groups, and from charities also, such as Barnardo's and Latch and Action for Children, Beechwood College, St Sire's, Ashgrove School, bringing young people down to this wonderful building on the beach where they can undertake many, many art exercises or explore art in its many, many forms.
And finally, how will the building support both itself and the furthering of the charitable objectives of Penarth Arts and Crafts?
Well, we want to extend our working remit with two other particular areas, besides working with children with special needs and disabilities, and that is also to work with carers, and particularly those carers that look after loved ones with Alzheimer's and dementia, and looking at how music, for instance, and film and theatre can reconnect people. The other area that we want to develop is, of course, working with veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder, initially as a meeting room for these men, generally men, but also then looking at ways in which the pavilion can deliver support for these men and their families. That's exciting work and is really developing at a rate of knots. I think it's also important to realise that money, shall we say, and we have to talk about money, but money raised therein from a cup of coffee, for a cinema seat, or indeed a painting bought, will go towards to drive and grow these areas of work that we want to undertake with young people with special needs, with carers, and with our veterans with PTSD.
Brilliant.
Okay.
That's all.
Right.
Great. Yeah.